All right, so today we're diving deep into the mythology of Solara. And trust me, she's way more than just like sunshine and rainbows. We're talking divine fire, epic battles, undead armies. Get ready to have your assumptions challenged on this one.
Yeah, what's interesting about Solara is this really cool duality that she embodies.
Duality. Okay, you have to tell me more about that.
So picture this, okay? Radiant being. Sometimes she's depicted in this like shining golden armor, ready for battle, and other times she's in these flowing white robes, just like radiating the serenity.
Mm.
But no matter what, flowing hair like sunlight, this aura of like pure light and fire, it's a powerful image. But it's more than just looks, right? She embodies might and mercy all at once.
Whoa, okay, so it's not just about being like the nice goddess of light. There's this whole fierce side, too.
Absolutely. It's about actively protecting life.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes that requires a little tough love, you know?
Oh, okay, I see where you're going with this.
That's where the fire comes in.
Yeah.
And I don't just mean like warmth and comfort. It's about Solara's power to cleanse, to purify, to fight against anything that threatens the natural order.
And her, like, biggest foes in this fight are, you're not going to believe this, the undead.
Oh, yeah.
Seriously, who doesn't love a good goddess versus zombie story, am I right?
Right.
But what I find really interesting is this whole idea of a sun sphere.
Oh, yeah.
What is that exactly?
All right, so imagine this. A massive blazing sphere of fire, okay? Larger than continents, just cruising through the skies of Mount Celestia.
Oh!
Yeah. And that's the sun sphere. Solara's home. And let me tell you, it's not easy getting an audience there.
Wait, hold on. People actually leave on this thing. That's intense.
Well, not just anyone can handle it. To even approach Solara, you have to pass through, get this, a literal fiery door. A trial by fire.
No.
Only those who are truly pure of heart can withstand it.
Okay, now that is an entrance. I'd be like slathering on the SPF 1000 before even thinking about that door. But speaking of Solara's followers, they must be pretty intense to follow a deity who basically lives inside a sun.
Oh, they're the real deal. That's an understatement. Forget flower crowns and chanting. Okay, Solara's followers, they're all about action, about upholding the natural order no matter what.
Okay, so we're talking like a warrior cult. Tell me they at least have cool outfits.
Oh, they definitely have the outfits. Imagine warriors clad in gleaming golden armor, radiating this aura of heat and light. These are the sun-sworn paladins. They're renowned for their unwavering dedication to Solara, feared by their enemies and totally, utterly devoted to eradicating evil.
Wait, hold on. Are we talking like Game of Thrones level armor here or something even more intense?
Oh, wow, more intense than anything you've seen before. We're talking about armor that practically glows with Solara's power.
Wow.
And it's not just for show. This imagery directly reflects their function. The Sun-Sworn are warriors of light through and through. But there's another side to Solara's followers. A side that embodies her compassion, just as fiercely as like the Sun-Sworn embody her might.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
These are the healers, those who channel Solara's fire not to destroy, but to mend and restore.
Okay, so we've got like the warriors of light and the healers of light. It's like a whole society built around this idea of harnessing fire for good. But what's their role exactly? Do they just like follow the sun sworn into battle and patch up the wound?
You really do so much more than just patch people up. Don't underestimate the power of healing, especially in a world where darkness constantly threatens to encroach, you know?
Yeah, totally.
The healers travel the land, tending to anyone in need, using their connection to Solara to mend not just physical wounds, but also spiritual ones.
Wow, so it's not just about bandages and potions. These healers are like walking embodiments of Solara's mercy. It's a reminder that even in the darkest of times, there's always hope for renewal. It makes you wonder, is there any limit to what Solara's fire can heal?
That's a question that has fascinated theologians for ages. Some believe that Solara's power flows through the healers without limit, allowing them to mend any wound, no matter how dire.
Wow.
Others argue that even Solara's power has its bounds, that some wounds run too deep for even divine fire to fully heal.
That's interesting. It's fascinating, isn't it? This whole idea of a force so powerful that it can literally mend broken bodies and souls. It makes you think about the nature of healing itself. Like, is it about erasing the hurt entirely? Or is it about learning to live with the scars and finding strength in the process?
That's a profound question, and one that Solara's mythology doesn't shy away from. It acknowledges the complexity of healing, recognizing that sometimes the greatest act of mercy isn't about erasing the past, but about helping someone find the strength to move forward, carrying their experiences with them.
Okay, so we've got this goddess who wields fire, battles zombies, lives in a sun, and has followers who can either kick your butt or heal your soul. That's a lot to take in. But what's the takeaway for us mere mortals? What can we learn from Solara and her fiery exploits?
That's the really interesting part. Solara's story might be ancient, but her values resonate even today.
Okay.
Take her stance against the undead. It's about protecting the natural order, the sanctity of life. That's something we grapple with constantly, in different ways, of course.
Right, like fighting for environmental protection, advocating for social justice, standing up for what we believe in even when it's difficult.
Exactly. And then there's the duality of her power, the
Mm.
fire that can both heal and destroy.
Right.
That speaks to the choices we make every day. Are we going to use our own fire, our own passions and strengths to build up or to tear down?
Oh, I like that.
Are we going to be the Sunsworn, fighting for what we believe in? Or the healers, offering compassion and understanding to those in need?
And what about the mercy part? We haven't really dug into that too deeply. She seems to believe everyone deserves a chance, even those who've messed up. What do you think about that, and where do we draw the line? So we're talking about second chances then. Redemption, like that whole idea of offering mercy even to those who might not seem to deserve it. It's a tough one. Where do we even begin to unpack that?
Well, it's a question that has challenged theologians and philosophers for ages, right? I mean, it's one thing to say everyone deserves mercy, but what does that actually look like in practice, you know? Solara's mythology offers some pretty interesting perspectives on this.
Okay, yeah, walk me through it. What does Solara's mythology say about redemption then?
Well, it's less about specific rules, I'd say, and more about this core belief that no one is beyond saving, that even those who have, like, strayed from the light can find their way back. Remember that fiery door we talked about, guarding access to the sun sphere?
Yeah, yeah.
Some say the fire doesn't just test for purity, it can also purify. It's like a trial and a transformation all at once.
Wow. So even in the act of judgment, there's like an element of mercy woven in. That's intense. But there have to be limits, right? Like I'm picturing some seriously evil necromancer just rocking up to the sun spiral. Hey, Solara, mind if I come in and warm my hand?
Yeah, somehow I don't think that's going to fly. You've hit on a key point, though. There's a big difference between making mistakes
Yeah.
and actively choosing to perpetuate harm and darkness. Solara's mercy might be vast, but it's not unconditional. Those who deliberately defy the natural order, who seek to exploit or corrupt life itself, they're going to experience the full force of her power.
So it's like she represents that ideal balance we all strive for, right? The compassion to heal and forgive, but also the strength to stand up to darkness, to fight for what's right.
Exactly. And that's a powerful message for us today. We all have that capacity for both light and shadow within us. Solara's story encourages us to choose wisely, I think, to use our own, inner fire, so to speak, to illuminate the world, to fight for justice and healing, and to remember that even in the darkest of times, there's always hope for redemption for ourselves
Yeah.
and for others.
That's a pretty great place to leave it, I'd say. Something to think about as we go about our day. Solara is a perfect example of how these ancient myths can surprise us. They're not just old stories, they're packed with timeless wisdom and ideas that still resonate today. If this deep dive taught us anything, it's that there's always more to uncover, Always more beneath the surface. And who knows what fascinating figures await us in the vast world of mythology, right? Until next time, keep exploring.